At Redeemer Lutheran Church, Pastor Jeff Sippy tends his flock with fervor and passion.
We're jumping for Jesus.
And in the summer of 2012, devout organist Shaun Staudte has good reason to lean on the pastor's sermons for strength.
Then Mary arose and went with haste into the hill country. And so you can see a woman with a mission.
Her husband Mark has recently died, and she's just moved with her 4 kids to this friendly street, hoping to put that sadness behind them. Rhonda Anderson, a church secretary, lives across the street. Did you see them going and coming?
One day the garage door was open and I thought, I'm going to go over there and say hi. And just as I got over there, it was really like they looked at me and closed the garage door, really, because I could still see them standing there. So I don't think they wanted to talk to anybody.
Rhonda doesn't take it personally, leaving her private neighbors to themselves. Until weeks later, one Sunday in September, she looks out the window and is shocked by what she sees.
The coroner's van was in their driveway. A policeman said there was a death in the home. I was blown away.
Once again, death has knocked on the Staudte's door. The firstborn child, Shaun, gone at 26. Diane tells police he had flu-like symptoms for 3 weeks.
Well, she reported she checked on him at about 6:30 in the morning, went to church, and then when she came back from church, found him not in bed anymore, but on the floor without a pulse.
She explains that her son had a history of seizures, and though like his dad, Shaun has an odd ring of blood around his mouth, it doesn't look suspicious. So the medical examiner, after an autopsy, decides that the second Staudte family death in 6 months is due to prior medical issues.
They're thinking, wow, poor family. What bad luck. No one was asking questions.
And nobody questioned that story?
No.
Even though her husband had died just months before?
Yes.
After police leave the scene, Rhonda walks over to check on her standoffish neighbor. Surprisingly, Diane answers the door.
I said, we just saw the coroner's van was here. Are you okay? Is everything all right? And she said, oh yeah, my son died.
Was she distraught?
No, she said it to me just like that. She said, my son died. Very matter-of-factly. I just was shocked.
Rhonda may be one of the few people Diane talks to about Shaun's death, because for him, there is no funeral, no memorial, not even an obituary. Like his father, Shaun is quickly cremated.
I'm like, oh my God, this mother must be devastated. She lost her husband, now she loses her son.
Now only the Staudte women are left. Diane, her darling Rachel, 12-year-old Brianna, and Sarah living their secluded lives.
I think they closed the doors even tighter because you didn't see them outside. I don't know how they even got their mail because we didn't see them at the mailbox.
Then, the following June, could it be true the Staudte plague strikes again? This time, it's Sarah. Diane has seen this end badly before, so she takes her 24-year-old daughter to the emergency room.
Sarah is sick, goes to the hospital, gravely ill.
Sarah's in very grave condition. It does not appear that she is going to survive.
Sarah's kidneys shut down, pancreas and other organs failing. Worst of all, her brain is hemorrhaging blood. Diane turns to Facebook, maybe hoping for divine intervention, asking for prayers as my daughter Sarah is in critical condition. Diane's brother-in-law, Michael Staudte, is floored by the post.
Wow, it's like a lot of bad luck here in this family. What's going on?
A good question. What is going on?
911, where is your emergency?
Finally, someone in Springfield, someone claiming to be close to the family, calls in a tip to police, hinting that the pious church organist may harbor an unholy family secret.
What did the caller say exactly?
That Diane Staudte might be responsible for 2 or 3 homicides. Again, brought up Mark's death, Shaun's death being very close proximity to each other. Also spoke about the potential that Sarah was going to die as well.
So the caller was essentially blowing the whistle on Diane Staudte.
Correct, yes.
Armed with that anonymous tip, Springfield Police Detective Neil McCamus begins investigating. He starts by pulling the reports on Mark and Shaun's deaths. The uncanny similarities are stunning.
Mark was experiencing flu-like symptoms for several days prior to his death. Same type of description with Shaun. Now we have Sarah that's also in the hospital with flu-like symptoms.
Police are now connecting the dots. Then Detective McAmis visits the hospital, where he gets more troubling news from Sarah's doctor.
He had told me that they had performed several tests. They couldn't figure out what was going on, and he said that he was suspicious that it was a possible poisoning case.
So your radar goes up?
Definitely.
Police figure it's about time Diane Staudte answers some questions. She voluntarily comes to the station, and in interview room number 3...
Is it Stout?
Staudte.
One of the strangest police interviews we've ever broadcast begins. Diane discusses Sarah's critical condition.
I'm looking at the lab reports, and it's like, you can't be living. Her kidneys were shot. She had a brain bleed. Her pancreas was acting up.
Well,
it's bad.
Okay.
I mean, she was as close to death as you could get.
Her affect may seem strange, but remember, this is a woman dealing with great stress, emotionally and financially, and her family's crumbling one by one.
My husband died last year of a heart attack. He had a lot of medical issues.
Did he?
So, yeah.
What kind of stuff did he have?
Oh, he had liver problems. He was diabetic. He wouldn't quit smoking.
Do you have a son as well?
No, not anymore.
No.
He died. He stopped breathing during one of his seizures.
I've just never heard of anybody dying from a seizure before. Is that pretty common?
It can happen.
And I'll be back here.
The detective steps away.